and ultimately, as you know, being a storyteller, that's where you want to, connect with your audience. And I'd say when it comes to storytelling versus songwriting, I think makes personal themes universal.
Welcome to Auga Brand Designs, your creative accountability partner in all matters of branding disciplines. If you like the content, subscribe, comment, like and share. On today's episode, founder and creative director Nino Monaco speaks about his process as it applies to brand strength through storytelling.
So the inspiration also comes just from resting and keeping things quiet. There are times where I won't listen to music, and I won't read, I won't look at designs, and I'll just kind of tone it down and turn it off a little bit, because I guess what I'm telling myself is that I just need to reboot a little bit. And then but something interesting also happens in that space, which is my visualization is just always kind of running in the background. As an example, when I was, let's say, first learning how to play drums, I was completely obsessed by it. And so when I wasn't actually physically playing the instrument, I was thinking about it, and I was visualizing it. I was thinking rhythmically, and I was trying to, in my mind, create rhythms that I could then replicate when I got back on the drums. And many times there were times that I wasn't actually physically playing and mechanically moving, but I was visualizing. And that kind of visualization I still use, and I believe helps me to get to different plateaus, because I've imagined things so much in a certain way that when it comes to then applying it physically, mechanically, that it becomes, let's say, maybe easier to realize. And so that's kind of in a nutshell what keeps me inspired. And again, it's the constant curiosity around any forms of art. Again, I may stumble on things that I didn't think would be inspiring, but in that moment I look at something and then I'm like, that's really impactful, right? And then I start thinking, is there a way that I can incorporate some of these concepts into my own process? And sometimes I can, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on how it flushes out. But so, that is a good question. It's also loaded because I could just go on and on about what inspires me. I love words, I love lyrics, I love certain writers that have the ability to paint like an amazing picture within the framework of a 3-minute pop song. That is, I'm just blown away by that kind of stuff, because it's just a visceral, very visceral experience. And ultimately, as you know, being a storyteller, that's where you want to connect with your audience. And I'd say when it comes to storytelling versus songwriting, I think makes personal themes universal, whereas storytelling makes universal themes personal. And so that is also kind of a fundamental barometer that I go by when I'm creating in my own space.